Hello, Mr. Ed here. Today is the 8th of June, 2016, and today I am really far from the Abbey, like about 85 miles. I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and today we're going to be pulling out bees from a little utility shed. So we're actually at the Port of Baton Rouge, and the director has contacted me to remove these bees for them. And so he said they've been in this shed now for about over a year, maybe a year and a half. And so they're probably going to be a little group inside there. I'm anxious to see it. It ought to be a pretty straightforward job. Remove the siding, find where the bees are, and then just start removing them. So with the grace of God, these Baton Rouge bees, these Port of Baton Rouge bees, will soon become Abbey honeybees. All right, let's get started. Before I actually remove that plywood from the side of the building, I'm going to go ahead and vacuum these bees that are on the outside, trying to prevent all those guys from flying around as I'm pulling that plywood off. And then we'll pull the plywood off and look at the comb. Start busy vacuuming bees. My assistant Jay right here is actually doing all the work so far. This is the result of the bees' hard work. So I'm going to start vacuuming, start putting them in the box. Well, I vacuumed probably about half hour, 45 minutes, and we got the number down pretty good. And I'm going to start cutting out. Exactly what's going on with this hive, I really am not sure. I think there's a number of possibilities. I haven't seen any brood, and I'm wondering if there's either a young queen who hasn't started laying, or else we have a laying worker. As I start cutting this comb, and maybe I'll find some brood. We'll maybe change the scenario. I have found one unopened queen cell, and so that at least is some kind of hope. But there's a lot of uncapped nectar in there, and then up at the top here, got a lot of capped honey up there. So I'm going to start cutting out this stuff and putting in the ice chests, unless we see some brood, and then we'll start framing that up. Here we go. Everything is cut out now, and the way it played out, there was nothing but honey in there. I don't believe there was a laying worker in there yet. For the sole reason, there was absolutely no brood in it whatsoever. There was, however, one really good sign, and I did manage to find 3 queen cells, and so this is actually the only thing that is going to go inside of the brood box. I'm going to put this one frame with these 3 cells in it, and then I'll release the bees onto these. I'll just treat this whole colony as a swarm. Add some sugar water into it, feed them, and we're still in the tail end of the tallow flow down at the Abbey, so there will be some food available for them, but I'm still going to go ahead and feed them. So they're going to have a tough row ahead of them, but I believe that the numbers of bees in this colony will help their survival. So I'm going to go ahead and put this frame in there and start packing up, and I'll show you, give you a shot of the bees after I get everything straightened out. Job's all done. Bees are all vacuumed out, and all the comb removed. I want to introduce the newest sponsor to Abbey Honey, and they asked if they could sponsor the real workhorse of the bee operation, and so because of that, they've actually sponsored the bee vac, and there it is, sponsored by St. Joseph Woodworks. I do all of my getting together at the wood shop. I'll build all the boxes, frames, everything that I have to do with the bees comes from the woodwork shop. And so they were saying, well, we never get any credit for it. Well, so now the bee vac is now sponsored by St. Joseph Woodworks. So I'm going to wrap this video up, and before I do, I want to show you the bees that we vacuumed up. Get out of the sun. This is all we vacuumed. I mean, these are some really gentle bees, and normally when I'm putting the camera up like this, the bees, you can just hear the hum of them, and these guys are just quiet as church mice. That's something. I think we vacuumed at least 10,000 bees. So this will make a start. All I've got in the brood box is just the 3 little sections of comb with the 2 queen cells on each one, and that's what I'm going to release these girls onto. I'm going to put a tray of sugar water in there and check, see if we got an emergent queen within the next week. And that's all I really need to find out. I'm going to wrap things up here at the Port of Baton Rouge. Thank you for watching. Keep on watching, and I'll be making more. God bless. Mr. Red. Out.